Okay, let's dive in.
Yeah.
Have you ever woken up just feeling completely stuck? Like stuck in a job that maybe pays the bills but doesn't really excite you?
Oh, definitely. Or maybe you've spent hours, scrolling through job sites.
Exactly. Scrolling and scrolling and just grappling with this profound uncertainty about what you should actually be doing, what really fits.
Yeah, it's a really common feeling. We hear it a lot.
And I know many of you listening, you're actively trying to grow personally, professionally. You've probably tried, I don't know, career tests, maybe even coaching.
Hmm.
This career uncertainty thing, it really is a shared struggle. Doesn't matter if you're fresh out of college or, mid-career thinking about a change.
Absolutely. It affects so many people.
But here's the question for today. What if the answer, the key to figuring it all out,
Hmm.
has actually been inside you the whole time?
Right. And you just needed the right sort of tool or framework to unlock it.
Precisely. So today we're doing a deep dive into something called the RHEOH Composite Life-Map. And our sources, well, they suggest this thing purports to completely transform how you see your career, your talent, maybe even talents you didn't know you had,
Yeah.
and your whole future, really.
It's a big claim, isn't it? But it's compelling. Think
Hmm.
about it for a sec. How do most people actually choose their careers right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Family pressure.
Often, yeah. Family expectations play a huge role. Or chasing the money, maybe?
For sure, financial security is a big driver. Or
Yeah.
sometimes it's just taking whatever job comes along first.
Exactly, just grabbing the first opportunity. But what our sources really highlight, the critical insight, is that a truly fulfilling career should be built differently.
How so?
It should be built fundamentally around your inherent strengths, your hidden talents,
Hmm.
and crucially, your sense of purpose.
The purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, how many people just sort of settle.
Hmm.
Settle for a job that's just okay because they never had that kind of compass, that guide.
Hmm. And the consequences of not aligning your work with who you really are, they can be pretty profound.
Like what?
Well, people end up feeling adrift, unfulfilled, or even in many cases, totally burnt out.
Right. Brunt out. We hear that term so much. So the big what if here is, what if you could actually bypass all that confusion?
Yeah. What if you could understand your ideal path before you even properly step into the job market or before making a big switch?
Okay. And that's where this Real Composite Life Map comes in.
Precisely. According to the sources we looked at, it's positioned as more than just like another online personality quiz.
Okay, good, because there are tons of those.
Right. No, this is presented as a comprehensive analytical framework. Often it involves structured self-assessment, maybe some expert-guided reflection,
Hmm.
exercises designed to really map out your intrinsic strengths and your purpose.
Back them out.
Yeah. The goal is to identify those ideal career paths, shine a light on hidden talents, things you might not even see in yourself, and then, crucially, give you a structured way forward.
A roadmap.
A roadmap, exactly, to
Yeah.
build a career that genuinely, excites you.
That is a powerful claim,
Hmm.
especially when, like we said, so many people feel overwhelmed or just lost.
Mm-hmm.
I bet a lot of listeners are thinking, okay, I've done career tests before, Myers-Briggs, StrengthsFinder, you name it. So what makes this RHEOH Composite Life Map supposedly different? What sets it apart?
That's the key question, isn't it? And the source material does highlight several distinctions, things that apparently go beyond the typical assessments.
Like what?
Okay, first, truly personalized career insights.
Personalized. How?
Well, instead of just boxing you into broad types like introvert, extrovert, the source suggests it uses a pretty unique framework, something involving cognitive assessments mixed with narrative analysis.
Narrative analysis. Like your story.
Kind of, yeah. Looking at your underlying motivations, your aptitudes, things you might not even consciously recognize. The aim is to really deep dive and pinpoint careers that genuinely resonate with how you are uniquely wired.
Okay, that does sound more in depth. But, unique wiring is still a bit abstract. Does the source give examples or evidence of how it gets that specific? Because knowing I'm, say, a strategic thinker doesn't automatically tell me if I should be in marketing or engineering, right?
That's a fair point. And it leads to the second differentiator, actionable steps.
Ah, okay, so it doesn't just identify things.
Exactly. That's crucial. The source indicates it doesn't just say, hey, you're good at X and then leave you hanging.
Right, figure it out yourself.
No, it apparently provides a more concrete roadmap. It might detail specific industries that are a good fit, skills you should focus on developing, even the types of opportunities to look for.
So it bridges that gap between knowing and doing.
That's the idea. Moving from just introspection to actual application. Because that's often where people get stuck, right? They get some insight, but then what next?
Okay, that makes sense. Actionable steps. What else?
Yeah.
I remember reading something about purpose.
Yes, absolutely. A big emphasis is placed on life purpose alignment.
Life purpose alignment. Tell me more about that.
It's about identifying your core values, understanding what truly matters to you, and figuring out how that intersects with making a contribution. Finding your why.
Your why, like Simon the Cynic talks about.
Sort of, yeah. Understanding your contribution to humanity, or at least to something bigger than yourself. It's presented as the bedrock, really, of a truly fulfilling long-term career.
Why is that seen as so vital? Beyond just feeling good.
Well, think about it in the wider context. So many people feel unfulfilled, even if they're successful on paper, because their work feels disconnected.
Disconnected from what really matters to them.
Exactly. Disconnected from a sense of personal significance. And that, the sources suggest, is a major path to burnout. This map aims to bake that meaning in right from the start.
Okay, so personalized insights, actionable steps, and this deep purpose alignment. It sounds like the goal is ultimately no more guesswork.
That's pretty much the core claim.
Less like a test, more like a career compass.
That's a great way to put it. A career compass. It aims to take the uncertainty out of it all. It might give you a curated list of possible career paths, core strategies to actually pursue them.
Strategies too. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe even guidance on balancing work with, your overall well-being. It's positioned as a comprehensive guide, not just a one-off diagnostic snapshot.
Interesting. The source we looked at shared a really compelling story, an example of what they called the clarity effect.
Yes, Priscilla's story.
Right, Priscilla. A young graduate, apparently really struggling, tried multiple jobs, but nothing felt quite right.
Yeah, a classic case of uncertainty. But what's fascinating is how the life map supposedly helped her. It apparently uncovered a hidden talent she didn't even recognize in herself.
Oh, what was it?
Strategic leadership.
Strategic leadership. Okay, not something everyone just knows they have.
Exactly. It wasn't obvious to her at all before doing the assessment.
So how did knowing that help her? What was the actual outcome? Did this clarity translate into, a real job she liked?
It seems so. The map specifically pointed her towards consulting.
Consulting? Really?
Yeah, a field she apparently admitted she would never have even considered on her own.
Wow. And how's she doing now?
Well, according to the source, she's not just doing okay, she's thriving. Really flourishing, finding that fulfillment in a field that aligns with those newly discovered strengths.
Huh. So her story kind of reinforces that idea you mentioned earlier.
Which one?
That when you get really clear, the right opportunities almost start finding you. Because you're putting out a different signal, maybe.
Precisely. That's the clarity effect in action, as the source puts it. That rapid shift where internal understanding suddenly unlocks external opportunities. It's about purpose-driven acceleration.
Okay. So bringing this back to you, listening right now, if you're feeling that uncertainty about your career, maybe feeling a bit stuck, consider what this implies. Investing in getting that kind of clarity now, well, the source suggests it could save you years, potentially.
Years of frustration, yeah. Wasted time, missed chances.
It's framed as an investment, really. An investment in your future self, your future happiness, maybe even your peace of mind.
Absolute.
So let's just recap the main takeaway here. The core idea from these sources is that real career success, deep fulfillment, it all starts with clarity.
Clarity of purpose, clarity of self-understanding.
Right. And a tool like this RHEOH Composite Life-Map, well, it aims to provide exactly that, to light up your unique path.
It's really about empowerment, isn't it? Giving you the tools to proactively build a career that excites you, that aligns with your values.
Instead of just passively taking whatever comes along.
Exactly. Not just settling.
Okay, so for a final thought to leave you with, just ponder this for a moment. What would the impact be, truly, if you deeply understood your unique why?
Not just on your job title or your salary.
No, but on your whole sense of fulfillment, your feeling of contributing something meaningful to the world.
And what about those hidden talents?
Yeah. What undiscovered strengths or unexplored passions might be waiting inside you right now?
And what completely new, maybe unexpected opportunities could open up if you tapped into that deeper self-knowledge?
Something to think about.